Hello, my people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is the first time here, I invite you to subscribe um, and to get to know what we're doing here. This is a YouTube channel aimed at helping people who want to study English on their own. And this, in particular, is a series of videos for people who are taking the TOEFL preparation course. And if you want to get a better score in TOEFL, then you need to practice more. Okay, so if you're taking a course, great. You can always come here and look at the tutorials. If you're doing it on your own, you know, I appreciate that, and please feel free to share this with whomever you think is going to use it, is going to need it. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe so we can grow and more people can benefit from these types of tutorials. Okay, now we're going to start the video. We're still working with the structure section of the TOEFL test. Today, we're going to work with skill number 11. We've been working with multiple clauses the last videos. Skill number 11 says use adjective clause connectors correct. An adjective clause is a clause that describes a noun. Because adjectives describe nouns. Because the clause is an adjective, it is positioned directly after the noun that it describes. For example, here we say the woman, subject, is filling the glass that, that's a connector, she put on the table, right? So what glass are we talking about? The glass that she put on the table. Not the glass that she broke, not the glass that she forgot, but the glass that she put on the table. So remember, the whole thing is an adjective clause. And it is describing the noun glass. So again, the glass subject contains milk, right? The glass contains milk. What glass are we talking about? The glass that, that's a connector, she put on the table, right? That's what we're saying. All right, so in the first example, there are two clauses. Woman is the subject of the verb is filling, and she is the subject of the verb put. That is the adjective clause connector that joins these two clauses in the adjective clause that she put on the table, which describes the noun glass. So we know what glass we're talking about. In the second example, there are also two clauses. Glass is the subject of the verb contains, glass contains, and she is the subject of the verb put, she put. That is the adjective clause connector that joins these two clauses. And the adjective clause that she put on the table describes the noun glass. It's the connector, and the whole thing is telling me what type of glass I'm talking about, right? It describes the glass because it's an adjective. All right, let's look at an example of how this works. So again, the gift selected for the bride was rather expensive. So we got the gift subject was verb rather expensive. Okay. So here in this noun clause, we're missing a connector. And we're missing a subject, and I guess it's the verb. All right. So in this example, you should notice quickly that there are two clauses, give the subject the verb was, and the verb selected needs a subject. Good. Because there are two clauses, a connector is also needed. Answers A and C have connectors, but there are no subjects. So we eliminate that. The answer is not correct. Answer B changes selected into passive verb. In this case, the sentence would have one subject and two verbs. So answer B is not correct either. The best answer to this question is answer D. The correct sentence should say the gift, which we selected, which, right, that's the connector, that's the subject, and that's the verb. Right, the gift, which we selected. For the bride was rather expensive. In the sentence, gift, the subject verb was, which is the subject the verb selected, and the connector which joins these two clauses. Right, so here we have a chart that lists the adjective clause connectors and the sentence pattern we use with them. Right, we use whom for people. Whom is It's more proper. I know that you have heard who use a lot, and people use it a lot. But remember that TOEFL doesn't allow for that level of flexibility. It is much more rigorous. So whom is for people, which is for things, and that can be for either people or things. So I like the book, which you recommend. Okay, so again, we got subject, I, the verb, like, the book, you recommended, and we have the connector. The book, which you recommended, was interesting. Right? We got the book is the subject for the verb was interesting. The book was interesting. Which book? The book which you recommend. Okay, that's what we're saying. That's what we're working with here. Okay, so now that we have this, let's move on to the exercise. Now, exercise 11, each of the following sentences contains more than one clause. Underline the subjects once and the verbs twice. You know, this is very basic. Circle the connectors and put boxes around the adjective clauses. Then indicate the sentences are correct or incorrect. Here we got subject, verb. It's important to fill out the form in the way that is a connector. Subject, right? So this is correct. No problem. Here we got the adjective clause. Right, the whole thing. The car connector, which subject I haven't been driving. I have been driving for 5 years. For sale for a really good price. But so there's no verb here. So it's incorrect because we're missing the verb. Okay. So now is the time for you to pause the video, try to answer the exercise, and when you finish, come back and check what you did. So pause it now and see when you come back. All right, now that you're back, we got I finished reading the novel, whom the professor suggested for my book report. So I just finished reading the novel for my book report, probably. So subject there, we got the connector, but there is a problem. We're talking about a novel, and a novel is an object, is not a person. So it's incorrect because we got the incorrect connector. It will be which the professor suggested or that the professor suggested, but not novel whom. No. The plane that he was scheduled to take to Hawaii was delayed. Right? So we got the plane was delayed. What plane? The plane connector, which he was scheduled to take to Hawaii. All right, so this is correct because that can be used for both people and objects. The plane is an object. The movie, which we watched on cable TV last night, it, subject, was really frightening. Okay, so we got the subject, the movie, another subject, it, the verb was, connector, which, subject, we watch. All right, so you can see the problem here. We have an extra subject, right? We don't need it at all here. The movie was really frightening. What movie are you talking about? The movie which we watched on cable last night. Okay. I made an appointment with the doctor whom you recommended. Right. So we got subject, verb, whom for doctor, person. So this is okay. It's correct. The enthusiasm with which he greeted me made me feel welcome. Right? So the enthusiasm made me feel welcome. What enthusiasm are you talking about? The enthusiasm with which he greeted me. Oh, okay. So we got the adjective clause here describing the enthusiasm. So everything is fine. The story that connector you told me about Bob. We got the adjective clause, but there is no verb. So this is incorrect because we're missing the verb. There's nothing here. The story what? The man with whom we're having the discussion did not seem very friendly, right? So the man, subject, did not seem very friendly with subject verb. Man's people, whom, okay. But we don't have a subject here. So that's the problem. That's why it's incorrect. Again, I, subject, am, verb. I'm not really sure about taking part in the plans. Connector, subject, verb. I'm not really sure about taking part in the plans. What plans are those? The plans that we made last night. Oh, those plans. All right, so this is correct. So as you can see, it's not that complicated. You just have to remember that this whole clause is an it clause and it's going to describe a noun. What noun? Well, the car, the way, the novel. That we use whom for people, which for objects, that for both, and that's about it. All right, so if you found this information useful, again, give it a thumbs up. That really helps the channel. Please subscribe, share with somebody who's interested in this type of videos who needs these tutorials. And thank you for your support. See you online.